The chair will recognize himself and the ranking member for purposes of making an opening statement. Without objection, the opening statement of any other member of the committee who wishes to provide one will be included in the record. A little over 2 years ago, 4 Americans serving our country in Benghazi, Libya, were killed. 2 of them were killed when a facility emblematic of our country was set on fire, and 2 of them were killed when they dared to fight back and defend themselves and others. Sean Smith, Chris Stevens, Ty Woods, and Glenn Doherty represented us. They represented our country and our values. We asked them to go. We sent them. And they were killed because some people hold a deep-seated animus toward us simply because we are us. So to the family and the friends and the loved ones of those killed, we can never adequately express our condolences and our gratitude. As you have, to the family, as you have helped each of us understand, these 4 were not just pictures on a television screen. They were sons and husbands and fathers and brothers and friends and fellow Americans. I remain hopeful that there are some things left in our country that can rise above politics, and I remain convinced that our fellow citizens are entitled to all of the facts about what happened before, during, and after the attacks in Benghazi. And they deserve an investigative process that is worthy of the memory of the 4 who were killed and worthy of the respect of our fellow Americans. Some question the need for this committee, and I respect their right to dissent. But the mark of a professional, indeed the mark of character, is to do a good job with a task, even if you don't think the task should have been assigned in the first place. And given the gravity of the issues at hand, I would rather run the risk of answering a question twice than run the risk of not answering it once. I am willing to reconsider previously held beliefs in light of new facts and evidence, and I would encourage my colleagues and others to do the same, because we know that all the documents have not yet been produced, and we know that there are still witnesses left to be examined, and we also know that there are witnesses who have been examined in the past, but for whom additional questions to put those talents to good use on behalf of our fellow citizens. The House of Representatives constituted this committee, and they did so for us to find all of the facts, and I intend to do that, and I intend to do it in a manner worthy of the respect of our fellow citizens. Our fellow citizens have certain legitimate expectations. They expect us to protect and defend those that we send to represent us. They expect us to move heaven and earth when those who are representing us come under attack. They expect government to tell us the truth in the aftermath of a tragedy always, and they expect that we will not continue to make the same mistakes over and over and over again. Which brings us to this hearing. Benghazi was not the first time one of our facilities or our people have been attacked. Beirut, Kenya, Tanzania are 3 that come to mind among others. And after these attacks, groups come together and they make recommendations on how to prevent future attacks. That seems to be the process that is followed. A tragedy or an attack comes, we commission a panel, a board, a blue ribbon commission to study the attack and make sure that we make recommendations to ensure that it never happens again. But yet it does happen again. And so to those who believe it is time to move on, to those who believe that there is nothing left to discover, that all the questions have been asked and answered and that we've learned all the lessons that there are to be learned, we have heard all of that before. And it was wrong then. It is stunning to see the similarities between the recommendations made decades ago and the recommendations made by the Benghazi ARB. And if you doubt that, I want you to compare the recommendations of those made a quarter century ago, 25 years ago, with the recommendations made by the Benghazi ARB. We do not suffer from a lack of recommendations. We do suffer from a lack of implementing and enacting those recommendations. And that has to end. So it is appropriate to review the recommendations of the most recent ARB, and I commend our colleague from California, Mr. Schiff, for suggesting that we do so. And it is also fair to ask why we have not done a better job of implementing recommendations made, in some instances, decades ago. In other words, why does it take an attack on our people or our facilities for us to make a recommendation? Why not evaluate the threat before the attack? Why not anticipate rather than react? In conclusion, the people that we work for yearn to see the right thing done for the right reasons and in the right way. And they want to know that something can rise above the din of partisan politics. They want to trust the institutions of government. So to fulfill the duties owed to those we serve and in honor of those who were killed, maybe, just maybe, we can be what those four brave men were, neither Republican nor Democrat, just Americans in pursuit of the facts and justice, no matter where that journey takes us.